I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to having no point of view. Like a political point will come up, and it's like, I know what my preference is, but I can't pretend to know the best way to get there. I can't pretend to know if, some kind of coercion is better, some kind of struggle is better, some kind of reconciliation is better. I can't predict the dynamics. And then even, sometimes something has to be played out before there's enough of a backlash to, for real change to occur. So, I mean, like there's that Star Trek episode, original series, where Captain Kirk goes back in time and falls in love with a wonderful woman who is basically trying to create a kind of socialist paradise in the United States before World War II. And it turns out if she succeeds, then the Nazis will win and the entire Earth will fall to fascism and the entire galaxy will, you know, thereafter be conquered by this malevolent force, all because a woman tried to do a nice thing, right? And of course, that's fiction, but it's also plausible. So, so I don't feel like on the face of it joining a particular political movement anymore. There's not like, oh yeah, that's where I fit in. Oh yeah, that's where I'm going to put my energy. That's where I'm going to put my effort. Because I can't honestly say I know what the hell is going to happen. And in a sense, that is just a lazy cop out. That's indistinguishable from I don't care. I'm just going to enjoy my privilege and good luck, world. You know. And so, like, that's why I have a really hard time with it because it seems like it's incumbent upon people to act when there's injustice and suffering. Otherwise, you're just a bystander. So I feel torn between what feels like a higher truth and what feels like a deep responsibility. And maybe at the end of the day, there is no contradiction. Maybe at the end of the day, the highest truth is either what will benefit humanity the most or simply, and or a way to bring joy to one particular little teeny tiny corner of this planet when there's a chance for it. Joy, creativity, kindness, connection that's based on something genuine, that's based on a genuine impulse and not the thinking mind, okay, how can I fix this world? Where can I go to fix the world? And it's not like, I don't think it's necessarily everybody needs to do one thing or everybody needs to do the other thing, right? I think there's a place for all of it. And I'm grateful to the people who are following their own, whatever they're following. Maybe it's their perfect higher wisdom instinct. And it's not my place to try to follow somebody else's higher wisdom instinct. So, but yeah, my feeling definitely more and more is I can't really say shit. I can't really plant a flag. I can see more than one angle. And I don't know if that's a failing or, I mean, it may be just me. Like, that's it. Not comparable or rankable to anyone else because everybody's totally unique. Not better or worse, just are you doing what feels like you? Are you doing what feels genuine and aligned to your own, well, not you, but your expression of the universe. And like, of course, I mean, who knows why all these expressions of the universe can either align or fight, either go with the Tao or dig their heels in. No, I know how things should be. I'm gonna make sure my thing happens. Um, it causes so much suffering when it seems so plainly unnecessary. I mean, we could all accept that we're all going to die sooner or later. We could all accept that somebody else is going to have a bigger, shinier toy than we do. We could all accept that. And I mean, now it's starting to sound like a caste system, right? Okay, accept your place. But of course, a caste system is imposed. It's not inherent, I don't think. Uh, so that's where the problems come in, I think. But yeah, I mean, accept your portion, and obviously, uh, build something, try to sell something, grow something, create something, you know, build a sewage system, all that kind of stuff. Like that's part of it too. But uh, then you can kind of chill. I mean, everybody could chill if everybody could chill. You could have a really nice life on a garden planet. But of course, do I know that? Maybe all the hardship, all the friction is what creates the space program and the, you know, competition between great powers got us to the moon in a pretty short amount of time. For what that's worth. A lot of our technology came out of defense industries or research and development, and a lot of it, of course, has bitten us and our potential friends and allies in the ass in horrific ways. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me that hates that I don't know anything and I can't say anything definitive, but there's a bigger part that can't deny that anymore. I cannot say anything definitive. And you have to live anyway. You have to live in a democratic society anyway. You have to vote anyway. I mean, I vote. I write books. I spread information that I think is important for people to know. Is that enough to do what feels aligned for me and not go, as my counselor put it, try to move the river? Should we try to move the river? Should a bunch of us get together and try to move the river? Sometimes that goes okay, sometimes not so much. I guess I'm trying to give myself permission to rest unperturbed, as Ms. O'Denver put it. A really nice video, Candice O'Denver, that I just watched about getting out of the grind point of view. Every point of view has an opposite. When you don't have a point of view, then it's like you're slippery. You're not snagged on this, that. It's just like you can ideally embody some kind of universal wisdom that's trying to work through you. Maybe, hopefully. I mean, genocide is bad, should be a pretty valid point of view. But I think that follows from universal wisdom, I hope. Maybe I'm wrong. That's heartbreaking. But yeah, it's a weird place to be. I see everyone around me so polarized, and I totally understand. I see some as much more brainwashed than others. I see some as much more based on truth, justice, and decent humanistic values than the other. I see ways in which even the what I consider the better guys are missing the plot in a big way, in my opinions, based on certain points of view. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know why. I don't know where putting my finger in is going to. I don't know what it's going to do. And I guess the difference between that and just saying, I don't care, is that I'm hoping to embody some kind of universal wisdom that I can't point to and show anyone. Whereas the apathetic person is just finding another way to be brainwashed, consumerism or whatever. Not that I never consume anything. I could easily be so freaking happy with the grass and the lavender and the moonflowers in my yard and my family and some books and some tea. I wish everybody had that opportunity. How do I help them have that opportunity? Is it my place to help them have that opportunity? Is that what everybody's here for? I don't know. Rumi said, out beyond the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. And I thought, well, that's convenient, Mr. Dreamer. But it's getting closer and closer to feeling like that's my reality too. And parts of me are really resisting it. Parts of me want so badly to be a good person, to know what that means, to be able to put a finger on what that means. What if I'm not a good person or a bad person, but just a person, and so is everybody else? Everybody. What does that imply? What does that look like? Because I know with my own family, in my own family, what it looks like to have healthy emotional sort of management, healthy emotional like relations, like validating each other even when we're being totally irrational. It's like, oh, I totally understand why you feel that way. Yeah, I totally get that. I believe you. I believe you that it feels that bad. Can you say that to a war criminal? To a racist? Should you? Should their victims try that? Maybe there's no one size fits all to anything. There's no general rule. There's no law that a man can write down or a woman. Internalized misogyny. Can I live with that? It's pretty easy for me to live with that. I have a really good, fortunate life. Is it fair that I have the option to live like that? Is fair a good thing? Am I just sort of drifting off into nebulous uselessness? Is the point of life not to be useful? Is there no point of life? I don't know. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of struggling with right now, among other things. Glad to hear your thoughts and comments. It's not easy.